Like if you'd told 12-year-old me that you would be conversing with the greatest tennis player to ever pick up a racket, you know, I would have jizzed on the spot. And there he is, just talking to me about, you know, can you do your Peter Griffin? The Stewie of the family of the guy, you know, the one, he is a little baby one.
Was your father dyslexic? Because you gotta speak the American language.
Yeah, it's bloody outrageous. Tell you what, you need to come to our dinner party, because Elbow's not there, yeah.
Like, bro, like, you'd be lucky to get nothing, bro. Nothing! We can all take turns dining on my magnanimous friend. People just look at videos and go, that's my take now. I've seen this person's take and I'm going to adopt that take verbatim. In some ways, I think a lot of progressiveness is very, very good and advantageous for society. But in a lot of ways, I think that it's incredibly, incredibly cancerous.
That's a fucking good observation. Fuck.
All right, we've been laughing ever since the moment this man's walked through the door. Dos' cheeks already hurt, so this episode is going to be huge. Elliot, Loney, welcome to the dos&d show.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thanc you very much. The atmos is electric.
Yeah, I know. We do often talk about it every month. You know, we maybe should just pay a couple of extras to pop in, make the club a bit louder. But mate, how's life for you at the moment? It seems like everything's going well.
Yeah, no, it's going great. And again, thanks for having me on the show. I've been watching for a long time, and you guys are doing extremely well. So thank you for having me on. It's good for my brand as well. So no, what I was going to say was it's so funny because I met you guys at 3AW in the waiting room. And I'm pretty sure you introduced yourselves as dos&d.
Yeah, we did.
And I found it so interesting because I was like, God, what happened to the rest of this guy's letters? He's introduced himself as D. You know, as I said, you know you've made it when you've got someone by the name of Usher, like a one word, you know, like Usher, like, you know, what's another one?
Big E, he's a wrestler.
Elvis, you know, and then like, I'm like, this guy must be huge.
I can't believe it. I'm really disappointed if I did do that.
No, I think we felt obliged to do that because we thought you wouldn't know who we were.
No,
so it was
mate,
like, oh, we're the brand, so we may as well, we're dos&d.
We never know. In the early days we used to do that, and then now we introduce as our first names. It's weird. So
what is it? DOS? It was short for
Wados.
Wados. Okay, yeah, right, nice.
And the D is just
short for Danny.
His parents just had a stutter. They're like, "What do you want to call him?" It's like,
D.
What are your nicknames, Elliot? You got any good ones?
I get called a lot of things.
I was going to say, so
preferably not from the comment section of your TikToks. You know,
depends what video I make. But yeah, no, mostly just like I copped elbow when I was a little kid, which I hated. I don't know. My dad used to love belittling me at the pastry shop. And that stuck. And then like just Loney. Most of my mates just call me Loney or Loans and stuff like that. But yeah, fuckface is fine.
I was going to kick this off with a bang.
Well, I was going to say we've got a lot to cover. But actually, when we were chatting in thread, because we were speaking for quite a long time in between you on air and the whole. Actually, by the way, once Elliot came off air, I've never seen just everyone just flock to him and just say how funny it was. Be serious. Everyone that walked the halls said how funny you were, and it's true. But we talked a lot about tennis, which I find fascinating because, you know, we've been a fan of yours for many years. We've seen all the impressions. It used to be as soon as AO was on and Elliot's on our screens. But when you actually watch the content, you see how good you actually are at playing tennis, hitting it. What's the right terminology? Hitting?
Playing,
yep. Yeah. Tell us a bit about your background in the sport.
Oh, I love tennis. Like tennis was the first thing that I reckon I fell in love with. So like I always say this, but you know, the first time someone falls in love, it's usually with a person. But I fell in love with a thing, you know. So my autism shined through at a very young age, and I was just obsessed with it, mate. Like I remember, this is true, and I can't believe I'm saying this live on this podcast.
I don't know where you're going here.
I literally used to sleep with my tennis racket. Like you know how people have like a fluffy toy. Like I would grab my racket and like sleep with it and wake up and stuff. Like I was just obsessed.
And which brand were you with at the time?
At the time, it was Head. Believe it or not.
Okay. Good brand to sleep
So
with.
I was familiar with Head by the time I. Anyway, you can cut that out if you want. But anyway, look, it was just an incredible like sort of coming of age for me. It was the first thing that I just completely became besotted with, and I never looked back. But unfortunately. Tennis, I think, and I might be biased, but I think tennis is the hardest sport to make it in the world. You're only really making a living if you're in the top 100 in the world. And I think I saw a stat the other day, which I actually wholeheartedly agree with, which is like you're more likely to be struck by lightning and win the lottery in the same afternoon than you are to make a living from the sport of tennis. So I chose a difficult avenue. Like I played at a decent level as a junior. Like I represented Victoria.
That's both of us.
Had a few in the Pizzy Cup.
No.
Oh, well then.
That was Mayo for this season, yeah.
But yeah, and then, you know, won a few like good junior tournaments. I was probably one of the better players in the state and in the country for my age group, but that's as far as I went. And yeah, like it's just such an insanely difficult sport. I didn't really have it in me to make a living from the sport, but ideally, like, you know, the crazy thing is I live my life now vicariously through my tennis friends.
Yeah.
You know, like Nick and Thanasi and, you know, even doing some stuff with Novak in 2023 and having like a relationship with Novak now is crazy. Like if you'd told 12-year-old me that you would be conversing with the greatest tennis player to ever pick up a racket, you know, I would have jizzed on the spot. You know, like it's like it's
exploded.
Yeah, like
know?
it's insane. You know, so I'm very, very fortunate, and tennis has brought me so much, and I'm just forever indebted to the sport. I didn't think that it would lead me to the pathway that it did, but somehow I found myself on Rod Laver Arena, full house, just not in the way that I'd dreamt or expected as a kid.
Are you traveling a bit with the boys too? Because weren't you like a hitting partner of both of them?
A little bit, like, but not really. Like, I did a little thing with Kokkinakis for the UTS, which is like, I think it's called the Ultimate Tennis Showdown or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But Patrick Meritoglu, who is the former coach of Serena Williams and Tsitsipas, he's running his own sort of like, they're kind of trying to make it like basketball. So they've changed the format of tennis. It's all like time quarters and big money for the players. And it's really interesting. It's much more of a spectacle, and I really like what he's doing. And I coached Thanasi for one of those events. So it's really cool. Like it's very much more interactive. Like the coach
Like
sits
live
on the
golf,
court.
you know,
Similar.
but for tennis a bit.
Sort of. Like, you sit on the court, like I'm able to converse with Thanasi during the match, that kind of stuff. You really feel like you're in amongst the action. It's awesome. So yeah. So but I might be heading off to the States soon as well with Nick to do some stuff. I think late August, early September. So I'll be around. So I do follow the tour a little bit, but it's not like I'm getting paid by the ATP or anything like that. It's just kind of like whatever pops up. Yeah.
He's pretty invested in pickleball, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's got his own pickleball bat.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
Nick?
right.
Yeah, Nick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like paddle. So yeah, I think it's the Miami Pickleball League that he has a vested interest in, or he's got like part ownership of. Again, don't quote me on that. I don't want to be sued, but I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he's a very good businessman, Nick. He's got his fingers in many pies. Must be nice.
How did you actually become mates with those boys?
It's weird. I feel like the tennis fraternity is a very small. It's a small fraternity, you know. Like especially like when you hear about, because Thanasi and Nick were always touted as like huge name, like big stars, big talents. You know, a bit like Bernard Tomic. You hear of these anomalies coming through. So I was always familiar with their names because you look at the website, you see the results. You're like, oh, gee, this kid's like hasn't lost a game in 3 months. He must be all right. So yeah, that's sort of just how, like, I guess we sort of maybe crossed paths at a few junior tournaments, even though we were different age groups. And then I guess I think it was like around the AO 2014 or 2013, I reckon we crossed paths and started talking in the player cafe and just sort of rekindled friendships that way and started hanging out ever since.
But how do they go? You go from that to then actually hitting with them. When do they discover that you can actually hit a ball?
Well, I think like I'd probably be like that. They would have a list of hitting partners. I reckon I'd probably be pretty low on the priority list. But I feel like both of them, when they've been coming back from injury and they're just looking for partners and they're still building their tennis. Like obviously both Thanasi and Nick, you know, if we played a set, they'd chop me into oblivion. But yeah, when they've both been injured and they're making a comeback and they're just looking for partners, then like I can hold a rally when they're just trying to get a groove. But as soon as they turn it on, there's levels to the game. You know?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if they turn it on, like I can't even, like they'll just hit me off the court. But if the task is, all right, let's just hit it up the middle, try and give me some rhythm, I'm going to go at like, you know, a fraction of the pace that I usually would, but I'm just trying to get, you know, an idea of where my body's at, then I can hold a rally fine. But if they really turn it on, like it's it's insane. Like there's levels to the game. Like it's a hectic sport.
Now, you're known obviously as the man of many voices, but did that talent or skill, did you start acquiring that when you were playing tennis, or was it more later?
No, I think it was actually before that. Like before that, I was like pretty eccentric. So I've said this on a podcast before, but I think the strange thing is before I discovered tennis, because I picked up tennis probably around the age of 10 or 11, and before that, like I hated sport. Like I wasn't interested in it. I was an only child. I was pretty introverted, but I was strange. Like I'd like play video games and talk to myself in my room. So my parents would like just recount the fact that I'd be having like multiple conversations in the room, and they'd like listen through the door and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Who is in there?
Yeah. And I'd be like playing like Super Mario 64 and just talking as like 15 different people. And I've always just, I don't know, for some reason, just been really interested in like voices and characters and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, like it started long before the tennis stuff. And then I think because I discovered tennis, I then started trying my hand at different sports, and it led me down a completely different path. So again, like I credit tennis for actually saving my life, because what a fucking gimp I would have been if I hadn't have picked up that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I thought there was actually a genuine, like, heartfelt thing happening there. It saved my life. Oh, okay.
No, mate. Like, I would have been an absolute gimp. There's no doubt about it.
What was the first voice that you came to actually start mastering and then start performing in front of people?
It was definitely my mates and then teachers and stuff like that. Yeah. And then it moved on into celebrities. Like one of my like sort of infamous stories amongst my friendship group was I had a mate who was, it was one of those, you know, primary school, high school relationships. And I think it was like year 7 or year 8. And he was like, I don't think they'd even kissed or anything, but he was like, he was done. He wanted out of the relationship. And I'd already fooled his parents by calling them up before, so we knew that I could do a good impression of this bloke. And so I called her up and I terminated the relationship as him, as per his request. The whole thing was recorded, of course, and I said all the things that I expected he would say, but then he wanted to get back with her, so I had to call her up again. And
what a pussy.
Yeah, and say all the things that I thought he would say to try and win her back. And I was successful. And then he wanted to break up with her again.
I was going to say, don't tell me they're married.
And I said, look, mate, for the third time, you're on your own, I think.
I don't think he can master his own voice at this stage.
So, yeah.
Did you ever, I mean, back in those days, it sounds so ridiculous, but like that was when the and now you spend a bit of time on 3AW, but the talkbacks.
Yeah.
And were you a prankster? Did you ever ring up and
your name's not, you didn't call yourself Toby.
No.
That wasn't you, was it?
No. I never actually did. It was more just prank calls in-house.
Yeah.
Like the way that it all started online for me was I was doing prank calls just on my personal Facebook page. Like I'd do like this Japanese chef voice.
Do you reckon we can get some of that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, the climate, I don't know what the climate's like at the moment. But,
Well, the climate's great in this room.
I think, I sort of used to do all these crazy impersonations of all these different characters, accents, voices. And I did like an Italiano one where I called pizza shops and stuff. And like, it was just, I used to cop, a lot of vitriol from the actual patrons, but the people on Facebook would love it, and then people were sort of like, you should do this more often. And I was like, yeah, I should. So then that kind of moved into a different realm. But I was always doing that kind of stuff. My mates would always put me up to the task.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have, because YouTube was probably like the biggest thing when we were kids. Like we're around the same age.
Yeah.
So did you pick up a camera early days or think about doing YouTube? Like it was before socials.
Yeah, like I think it was weird because now everyone wants to be a content creator.
Yeah.
The stigma that's attached to being a content creator has completely been obliterated in time.
Agreed.
But I recall back in like 2012, 2013, everyone would be like, oh, that's so cringe. And I remember when I started doing what I was doing with the Man vs. Metro stuff and the parlay into YouTube, it was very much like oh, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, that's so cringe. Like, it wasn't as celebrated as it is now. It wasn't until I started getting viral success that people were like, oh, this is kind of cool. But before that, people were just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what is this YouTube thing? Like, that's so weird. Like, But now it's so funny how it's just completely changed over time. So
Now they're all asking for, how do I do it? You know?
yeah,
How do I do it?
exactly. Now everyone wants a profile. Everyone wants a platform. People can see that there's money to be made on social media. But at the time, I think it was like very much just it was different back then. But if I had the foresight, I'm glad that I did it. But if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have let other people's opinions dictate my movements as much. I think I would have gone all in because there was too many periods where I'd have massive hiatuses, not post for a couple of years. And had I been really consistent and diligent and just blocked out the noise, far out, mate, I'd have like over 1 million subs now.
Well, YouTube's that's the portal. That's the one.
Exactly.
You know? Now, this episode with Elliot Loney is brought to you by CoinSpot.
This is a very funny one. It's going to get even funnier after this short break. But first, we need to say how great CoinSpot are. You can buy your Bitcoin for as little as $1, DOS.
Well, I use it. I know you do too.
Yes.
And you guys need to download that app and buy your crypto through them as well.
Get any crypto you like. Now, let's get back into the episode with Elliot Loney.
Exactly.
Can you get that up, by the way? You made me go and get some Man vs. Metro. It's one of Elliot's like big first videos that really blew up, took him off.
Are we about to see this on the doc?
We're about to see it. Yeah, we're going to take away our own names.
We'll have a watch. So, like, Bear Grylls, obviously, a take on Man vs. Wild. Here we go.
Oh, that's it.
Straight away.
Wow, look at
Bear
that.
Grylls.
God, I've
I've been
that
at some of the
face.
most desolate places on the planet. I've left the harbour hanging off my head at 7 a.m. Pissed off some swans at Albert Park Lake. Walked
fun.
through a fountain
Never forgave.
and updated my Facebook status 17 times in one day. Today I'm in the vast metropolis, where I'll be working my way around numerous Asians, conversing with hostile cab drivers.
How old were you
expressing
here?
my love for women
Oh,
in their
mate, I
most
can't-
desolate time of the month.
The
I reckon like
sauce.
22, 23 or something like that, maybe.
Oh, wow, good baby.
Yeah. That's my old car.
Here I am in the heartland of the Melbourne metropolis. As urban legend would have it, there's a place around here called Crown Casino. It's absolutely imperative that I get there, get a load of money, and get out. It's a great place to start.
When travelling through the metropolis, you've got to exercise extreme caution when you bump into these guys.
I've just turned the corner now, find myself in Chinatown. The people that predominantly inhabit this place are Asian. Asians are known for
Some of
having
this stuff
really
you might
poor
get away
spatial.
Well, this is a while ago.
This was 2013.
Yeah.
Or 2012 even. But the strangest thing about this video was like that completely changed my life. Like I remember we posted it on, because most of that, pretty much I would say 90 to 95% of that was just complete ad lib.
Wow.
I had a structure that I wanted to follow. And I think the guy that I was filming with at the time, we were like, we were toying with like Man vs. Metropolis, Man vs. Metro. I'm like, Man vs. Metro is better because it's just cleaner, I think. We were just thinking, yep, that's better. But there was like a structure, but the whole thing was pretty much. So I remember when we were kind of cutting it together, like my mate and I sat down, he started cutting it together, and I knew it was good, but I didn't have any sort of, there was no inkling that it was going to be what it turned out to be. So I remember like I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I went to youtube.com and it was like in the feature bar.
Wow.
Like it was different then. So it was like, and I was like, is this a glitch? Like I don't understand. It was the most watched video in the entire planet for that particular day. Yeah. So it just went like so viral and like fully worldwide, because I think that's when Bear Grylls too was at the height of his fame. So I really rode off the coattails of his sort of contemporary success. And then, as I've mentioned, I kind of like remember going down the street or going to like a nightclub, because that was the age that I was going out and having fun. And all of a sudden, like I lost all of my anonymity. Like it was just like, oh, that's Man vs. Metro. There he is, Man vs. Metro,
Wow.
Man vs. Metro. Do Bear Grylls. Be Bear.
Yeah.
No, fuck Elliot. What are you doing? Be Bear. Do the Bear thing. So it was just, it was so weird. Like it changed. Like I went to a venue and it was just like I had complete sort of like just autonomy to do whatever I want. And then I went the next week after the video dropped and everyone had their phone out. And it's so weird. It's so strange. I mean, I'm sure you guys can sort of, you know what it's like, but it's like, it's so weird when like there's one clip or one video where people start to, like, they recognize you before you even have a video. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Definitely him.
Yeah. Well, D.
Yeah, he's got a look. Yeah.
just D.
Yeah.
That's we'll tell you off air about
No,
that.
tell him.
You can tell
no,
you
tell
tell
me.
me.
It's actually quite funny.
Oh,
Yesterday
thanks,
we
mate.
went and shot a
Thanks, mate.
we went and shot a podcast for we shoot podcasts for a couple of different businesses and clients, and one of them had a guest come in, and it was a former Carlton legend, Carlton Footy Club legend, and he came in and he didn't know we were shooting it, like we were behind the cameras, and he goes, "Oh," he pointed at D, he goes, "I know you, you're the podcast."
Yeah.
And then before he even said anything, I cut in front of him and I went, "And me as well, mate." Like,
And then he said something along the lines of, "But he's actually on the podcast." I was going, "No, I am too. We're together." Like, every clip you see,
I
we're
don't
both in
produce
it.
the thing, you know.
You know what I reckon you need to do? I reckon you just need to change your name to D. And then it's
The
just
double
D&D.
Ds.
Double Ds.
Oh god. Well, in a full circle moment, you then get to meet Bear. Down the line. Tell us about that.
Oh, mate, that was insane. So, again, hats off to Nick Kyrgios, very close mate of mine. He's just such a good bloke like that, Nick. Like, he's been so incredibly kind to me. And it's something that I'll always be indebted to him for. But it was basically like he was doing his podcast. He's got a podcast called Good Trouble. He's had some huge guests like, I think he's had McConaughey and Mike Tyson and, Logan Paul, all these guys. And anyway, he was like, "I'm doing a thing with Bear tomorrow morning. Why don't you come along and meet him?" Because like he knew that I was a massive fan. And I literally like remember speaking to him. I was getting like emotional because like I think Bear was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Because I'm just this random bloke. And I was literally like falling at his feet, almost being like, "Mate, because of you, I've got a career." Like I don't think he at the time probably understood like what it meant to be in his presence, actually meeting him, full circle moment. But again, like if you told me all these years ago that I'd be conversing with someone like him, like it was almost like a dream when I made that video to meet him and do a skit with him or something. And just to be able to meet him and his family, and he was just the best bloke ever, and we just had like so much fun together. And
Had he seen your videos too?
yeah, he'd seen them. Yeah, he'd seen them, and I think his kids had as well. But yeah, like I just remember being like, man, this is so insane. Like meeting you, mate. Like I've watched so much of your stuff because to get the voice and stuff like that, and it was incredible. Like I spent basically like the whole afternoon just hanging out with him and his family, and
Unreal.
it was so cool, And he's like an insane bloke as well, like the best guy ever.
I don't know why. I just think when I hear Bear Grylls, I just think of that meme or the shot of him with the blown up face after getting stung by like a million bees or whatever,
But you can tell why he's so successful, like he's so present, like I was like to him, because I was a bit nervous. I'm like, "Hey mate, like, I do a bit of social media, and I'm like, Matt, Bear, I like, if you wanted to, like, just digging my heel into the ground, like, video on
Together.
me and you, like, the social, maybe." And then he's just like, "Absolutely, whatever you like. You want me on the floor? Do you want me on the ceiling? Like, I can do whatever you like. I'll get on the floor. I literally will crawl around like a crab. Whatever you need, mate, just let me." I'm like, wow, mate, like,
That's insane.
insane.
In the, now you're obviously well versed in the world of social media, brand deals, all the good management, all that kind of lifestyle. But I'm interested to go back. You don't have to talk money, but remember the first time you got paid to produce comedy or skits or anything?
Yeah, again, this is back in 2013, I reckon, when around that time when I dropped Man vs. Metro, I think. I remember a time when they hadn't coined a phrase for influencer.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting down with this guy, and he contacted me on Facebook, and I can't recall this bloke's name, but I remember the conversation, and he was like, "What we're doing is we're starting a bit of a management company for what we call micro influencers or something like that." And he's like, "And you fit the category of a micro-influencer, and did you know that you can like make money off your page for doing this and this?" And I think it was Hairy Lemon was the brand. I think it was like
a drink?
Energy drink, like similar to a Barocca kind of thing. And I remember I did a brand deal for them, and I can't remember, it wasn't like a insane amount of money, but for me at the time, I couldn't believe that I was making money from social media. And I just remember going, "Whoa, this is insane. Like, wow." But I think it wasn't until I had a good year in 2023. It wasn't until like I started, getting proper brand deals that I was like, "Wow, this is actually a career now." This is like the first time where I'm like, "Wow, people actually do this for a living," which is nuts.
How do you explain it to everyday people though, like our parents or our parents' friends, or because the questions still get asked, even for us as well. Like I kind of get sick of kind of explaining how we make a living. Yeah. And you kind of just accept that not everyone's going to understand, and that's fine. But from your perspective, I'm sure people, you're on TV here and there, you create videos, but do people still not understand how you actually make a living from what you do?
I think it's a lot more mainstream now. I think like the term influencer is now like a mainstream term, but there's also like a bit of a cringe stigma attached to it now as well. Where people like think that comedians, entertainers, podcasters might be in the same category as influencer, but I think that like technically you could say that they're not. You know, like I wouldn't call you guys influencers, even though you could influence me in terms of the products that I buy, because, you know, I listen to your show. I'm like, these guys are good. But I wouldn't say that, you know, you're jumping on in front of what would you call it? Like that wall in Greece with in a bikini and being like, you know, buy some Bellini shoes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would call that an influencer. Yes. I don't think what you're doing is influencing.
Wait till the end of the show. I mean, you already spotted one of the products. Or you could probably more call it infomercial. Yeah.
Well, I do have my girlfriend's bikini. It's always on me. So.
Well, I remember too, like, and I know some of the early, was it PointsBet or SportsBet or one of those brands? Like when you started with the Bruce stuff, the Bruce McAvaney. Like we're big footy fans, and I think it was Maverick Weller. I mean, we used to quote that in the schoolyard.
Adam Jalou.
I used to always say that.
Oh, Adam. Let's talk about your name, Adam.
Let's say it together, Adam.
Adam Jalou.
Adam Jalou. Just rolls on the tongue, doesn't it?
It's just, I love it. I used to watch that video so much.
But that's another new, like back then, it would have been a new to actually sit across from an AFL player. And like now it does, for people listening that have grown up with this stuff, it doesn't seem like anything. It just seems like this is what everyone does. But back then it was actually a big, are you going to get it up, Jared?
Can you try and get that up, Jared? Sorry.
No, it's fine, mate. Yeah.
But back then it was like a big deal to get a player involved or somebody of note involved in a skit.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was I was working with a company at the time called Zinc Digital, and the guys there were just fantastic guys. Mike Whitford and Michael Nettlefold, two very elite operators, great guys, and very good businessmen. They were running that company, and it was like sort of they were making a bit of a parlay into digital media at the time. And again, it was like sort of innovative at the time for them to do what they were doing. And they teed that up, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was something that happened. But I remember thinking, like, gosh, because I think we had about 3 or 4 different interviews with AFL players lined up that day. And I can't recall exactly, but I recall it might have been on like a Sunday. Yeah. Which was poor scheduling.
I might not have wanted to be there.
And I'm pretty sure I just recall like, I can't remember the names of the players, but 3 of them just pulled the pin like within the last 5 minutes. And Maverick Weller was the only one. Mav Weller we did at the hospital, but Adam Trelaw was the only one who actually turned up. I didn't tell him that at the time. But I really
Thank God it blew up.
Yeah, I really had to glaze him. But he probably should have won the Copeland Trophy that year. But anyway, I pumped him up, and he was just such a nice guy. It's a shame that we didn't get to do more, I think, because it could have been something.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Adam. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming in and giving up your time for this Bruce McAvaney exclusive. We know you're a busy man, so thank you very much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
The first thing I want to talk about is your name.
Yes.
Adam Trelaw.
Yes.
It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yes, you can say it fast, you can say it slow, can't you? Yeah. Adam Trelaw. Adam Trelaw. Doesn't matter what way you say it, it's a marvellous name, isn't it?
It's good.
Say it with me, Adam. Adam Trelaw.
Adam Trelaw.
Adam Trelaw.
Adam Trelaw.
Yes.
Do you know Trelaw in Greek means crazy?
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Is that right? Crazy about Trelaw.
Gee, that looks like you spent a bit of time in the makeup chair.
Yeah, I was
with
thinking the
that.
same
It's
thing.
funny because like
Let's
I've
talk
sort of
about
I
your
look
season.
like that now by default.
You know what?
Did you word Adam up at all, or was it just
Not
rock?
at all.
So
Like,
you
mate,
did-
it was crazy. I remember, like, because we had no time to work with either. Like, we had the studio for a finite amount of time, and I remember just being completely dressed up, and like he literally sat down, and I started. Like, it would have been so jarring for Adam.
Yeah.
Like,
the fuck is this bloke?
Like, Adam would have been so spooked. But yeah, again, like, what a ripping bloke. Like, he was
Yeah.
so nice. It was easy to just kind of like feel relaxed around him. Like, just a really nice, genuine dude.
Seabus Super. Build your something.
Inside 60 is brought to you by our mates at Seabus Super DOS.
Everyone's building something, D, whether it's a career, a business, a family, or a life you're proud of. The future isn't built overnight.
That's right.
It's built one step at a time.
Exactly right. Seabus is proud to support Australians as they build the futures they're working towards.
Learn more about Seabus at seabussuper.com.au.
Beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is put Elliot Loney through a 60-second pressure test, really. We've got all these questions in front of us. Some of them are more financial related because of our
Investing.
friends at Seabus. Yeah, investing, things like that. If you don't know the answer, pass. We'll see how many we can get through.
Yep.
Are you ready to take it on?
No, but I'll try my best.
Okay. 3, 2,
God.
1, go, D.
3 phone apps you can't live without.
Instagram, Facebook, Gmail.
Worst investment you've ever made.
Pass.
Most useless talent.
Eating fast.
Most famous person in your phone.
Novak.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
Yes.
One guilt-free purchase you'll never regret.
Tennis racket.
Best piece of financial advice you've ever received?
Got to answer this one.
Okay. Invest. Get a good super.
Love it.
Get a
What's
good
one
super.
thing you've wasted money on?
That's certainly not super. Pass. God.
Have you ever heard a fake rumor about yourself?
Yes.
Biggest irrational fear?
Success and failure.
Most controversial take?
It's time.
He's done
Very well.
It's
Very
unfortunate.
good.
Have you done any investing? Like, do you ever,
Well, it's
follow the stock market?
It's so funny you say this. I'm actually, because I'm doing a venture in the US soon where I'm going to be traveling a little bit more, I was considering potentially moving out of my current home where I'm living, I bought, and renting to free up some cash while I'm overseas and stuff like that. And I was having a conversation with my dad the other day because being self-employed, a lot of the times, like I do a lot of voiceover work and they have to pay super and stuff like that. And obviously TV shows I've been in over the years and stuff like that. But my dad is furious that I haven't prioritised super. And he keeps saying to me, mate, every time you get a good payment from a job, whether it's like a promotional job or a stand-up gig, like you need to start putting your money into your super. So that's something that I'm going to start doing and be a lot more cautious of because it's very important.
It is.
Very well
Well,
said.
Seabus Super.
They'll look after you.
Yeah,
But just
Seabus.
one quick thing while we're still in this segment, because you glossed over it very quickly. You said you have heard a fake rumor about yourself.
Yes.
Can you elaborate at all?
I can't without involving a lot of illegal.
Okay, that's fair.
But I took action, and if it comes up again, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
yep, that's enough said.
And
We won't- we won't-
I'll be looking for cash.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
at the start of this year, so we've talked a bit about the past, but you blew up again. Well, not that you ever didn't, but it was a big wave of probably attention on you at the start of the year through the Keli Holiday skits.
And hit play on that song, I can't hear that song another time.
Yeah, you can see I'm gripping the couch now.
Yeah.
We don't have to go too much into it, but maybe just more along the lines of, what's come out of it, positive, negative, anything?
I mean, like, I think I did a podcast with the Sushi Mango guys, and I remember touching on it a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys saw that one.
Yeah.
We definitely listened to that one.
Oh, thank you for listening, guys. Appreciate it.
But again, and just prefacing, hearing you talk a bit more openly about it brings perspective into everything.
Yeah, look, it does. It's difficult because, like, I think it's so funny and I'll try not to touch on this too long, but I know I might probably get myself in trouble here, but I think that the thing is, my intent behind that was purely to create just funny satire, and people might not agree with me or they might not believe me when I say that, but I know in my heart of hearts that was my genuine. I just thought I can do a ripping impersonation of this bloke. Mm-hmm. He is everywhere. He was all over my newsfeed, all over popular mainstream media. Every time I turned on the radio, his voice would come on. And I knew my friends were the same, because it was getting to the point where I'd meet up in social interactions with my friends and they'd be like, "Have you seen this guy? Like, is everyone else getting this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen him too." And so I felt like it was just the moment that I posted it, it was the perfect recipe for the viral success that it was, because it was kind of like the impression was good, the content was funny, and also I think everyone in Australia collectively was thinking the same thing at the same time. Yeah. So it just kind of like went nuts. But it's so interesting because I feel as though him and Abby probably didn't like the skits, but there was no malicious intent behind it. It was just kind of like, this is funny and I'm exaggerating it because that's what funny satire is.
Well, just like the Bruce one we just watched.
Exactly.
It's no different in my eyes. You're just impersonating the people that are of relevance.
And I think everyone who's followed me, especially since the genesis of the moment I first posted my first comedy skits, I think they all know me well enough and have been on the journey long enough to be like, well, Elliot's taken the piss out of everyone his whole life. And he's always done this sort of comedy. So,
but I can also see why, because today with social media, everyone's only watching that one video.
Yeah.
They don't know the hundreds of other videos you might have seen, and then they go and comment only seeing the one video.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've done thousands.
Well, the thing is too, if people just want to say, "Oh, he's not funny" or whatever, or "I don't like his comedy," that's fine. I've always said comedy is more subjective than music, in my opinion. And you know, if the comedy doesn't land with you, that's fine. You know, it landed with millions of other people, so it's like it doesn't bother me. But it's just so interesting how, you know, you take the mickey out of certain people and there's absolutely zero backlash. In fact, they'll be the first people to kind of volunteer to put their hand up to get in the skit. Like, you know, Bear Grylls, you mentioned earlier.
Was Dave Hughes one?
Dave Hughes is another one, super down to earth, happy to jump in front of the camera and do a skit with me. You know, Novak Djokovic, Matthew McConaughey's got around some of the skits that I've done. So, like, these guys are big names and they're like, yeah, this is funny as, you know. And I just found it so interesting that I think you kind of get a sense of what someone's like by the way that they take the humour, you know. I mean, for me, if someone does an impersonation of me that I think's funny, I'll be like, "That's so funny, man! Like, look at that," you know. But I don't know, it was so weird. Like, there was just anyway.
It reminds me of like caricatures in the paper and the old like when like obviously you always like when they're drawing cartoons, they're making exaggerated versions of the person. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's no different for any of the skits. I mean, I don't know
if
if
you've
Bruce
got big ears, they draw big ears.
Right. I don't know if Bruce is loving you know, rubbing Maverick Weller's leg, but it's like it's hilarious because it's obviously Bruce doesn't go up to players and rub their legs, but he does like a bit of a touch on the arm.
No, you're absolutely right, D.
Thanks, E.
but it's so true. Like, no, you're right.
That's a fucking good observation. Fuck. Unbelievable, mate. That's come straight from the fucking manosphere.
No, but
it's got a bit of 9 A's about it too, that voice. Yeah.
A little bit. But no, you're right. And that's exactly what I did. I know that he's, you know, not pontificating the things that I'm saying, but it's like the sort of, I think, social stigma that are attached to both of them is that, and they might not be. So this is just my humble opinion, and I know the opinion of other people in my immediate circle. I don't know if you share the same view. They come across as people who predominantly seem to lean very left, you know, maybe have Greens sort of like leftist views, and that's totally fine. So all I do is I just dial it up. I did the same thing with Tony Abbott when I was satirising Tony Abbott back in the day. Obviously, he was a right-wing figure, so I would dial up his right-wingness way further because it's funnier.
Yeah,
I mean, the
exactly
only way
right.
you're going to extrapolate comedy from something is if you go and drag it out. Like you gotta go ad nauseum. Like if you think of any South Park episode, even The Simpsons, which is a little bit more PG, but they take things to an extreme. You take it to an extreme.
Yeah,
place.
they were a stereotype show. They
Stereotypes,
Yeah.
Oh, well, otherwise it's not funny.
It's not funny, exactly. Like all the things, like like let's be real. Like Abby's boyfriend, he's not going to hold up a G-string and be like, "I found this is my G-string." I know that, but it's funny. Like it's a ridiculous over-exaggeration, satiric caricature of him.
And he's not doing this everywhere.
No, absolutely not. Like
and
it's so strange because I think like what I did notice is the fan base that seems to attach themselves to those people, the ones that I dealt with, they were very young, like teenagers, maybe people in their very early 20s that would message me and I think just kind of like go like vipers without actually looking at it in an objective sense. But I think that's social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, like people just look at videos and go, that's my take now. I've seen this person's take and I'm going to adopt that take verbatim. Thinking for myself.
Do you ever, like you mentioned the sides, and again, we're not going to get too political, if not at all, but you mentioned left. When you make, say, the right content, are you getting as many comments from...
Well, this is the thing that's so strange, and I don't know whether or not if you touched on any of this stuff with any other guests on your show, but it is interesting. Like you say, it seems to you can definitely take the piss out of sort of. It used to be, in my opinion, you could take the piss out of everything and anything. Now it's like you need to be very careful about what kind of route you take with the satire because, like you can take the piss. Full ball with people like Pauline. If you want to take the political route, you can take the piss out of Pauline as much as you like. But if you take the piss out of Albo or people who represent that side of politics, you will notice more backlash online. I don't know.
And I mean, we can only speak from what we see on our social media when we get comments, but same thing. Like when we have left, we have both on the show, and over 6 years or 6.5 years, you can go through and see you've got very left-wing figures, very right-wing figures, and everything in between. Whenever we get somebody that's potentially controversial on the right, we get all these comments. When with the left ones, we don't. But one thing I would say is if you look at downloads and views and everything like that, there's more people go and listen to the more right-leaning people. I don't know why, but
yeah, it's interesting. Like I think it swings, doesn't it, in roundabouts? Like they always say that, politically speaking, and that's the thing that's so strange. Like I'm very bipartisan, but it's so weird because I think now more than ever, people like just judge you by the kind of comedy you make, which to me is crazy. Because if you look at my body of work, which is spanning now close to 15 years, like I've been doing. I've taken the piss out of so many right-wing people, taken the piss out of left-wing people. Like, I just think that there's so much fodder in politics as a comedian that it's really hard not to extract different bits and pieces from the political sphere. So I'll take the piss out of everyone if it's topical. And I'm not. And it's so funny because people just think, oh, you're doing these skits, so you must vote this way or you must vote this way. Like, I'm bipartisan. I'm a swing voter. Like, I'll vote for whatever is within my best interests. And I think that's what most people do when they go to the polling booth. They go, what's going to service me, my family, my wants, my needs? And then they vote accordingly.
I wonder, because I said this to Dos the other day, because I don't want us to be seen as, because we're not a political show. No. We don't talk politics. Like we don't voice our views. And I don't want to be seen. And I'm like, I don't want us to be seen as something, especially if it's something we're not. Yeah. Because of, well, we've had this guest on. Just because we've had a guest on doesn't mean that we agree with what they're saying. We're having a conversation. I'm like, we always say, go listen. But the thing that intrigues me is I wonder how many of these people actually do exist outside of the online space. Because to your point, when you talk to people just having a normal conversation, whether it's in a social, at a bar or wherever it may be, people seem to all have a similar kind of view. These real extreme ones don't seem to come out in real life. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, that's true. I actually got to be honest. I've never had like a public dealing with some like extremist person who pulled me aside and been like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And like, you know, like, I've never ever received that. Not once. Like my public perception is very supportive in that real world sense. Like if I walk down the street and someone might recognize me or have seen some of my videos, they'll never be like, "You're a dickhead, mate." They'll always be supportive. I feel like the people that don't like you or don't align with what you do, most people won't even they'll just ignore you.
Yeah.
We can't, like, unfortunately, someone's going to be offended no matter what any of us say or do.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just all have to accept that. And like you're saying, 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10, no one's actually going to probably come and confront you about it.
But yeah, again, that's the thing, and that's the real world side of it. But in the online sense, like I've always been told that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
So I always find it so weird, and I don't know what you guys think of this, but it's so cringe when you're on Instagram or you're on TikTok and there's someone that you know or follow who's written a public-facing comment on someone's post just on their own.
Yeah.
Like you're just like,
changes
why?
your perception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go, why did you write that comment? Like,
even if it's footy related, you're a nuffy, mate.
Exactly. Even if it's footy related, you're like, what did you get out of writing that comment?
Yeah.
Like now all I'm thinking is that you're a fucking dickhead.
I nearly wrote one the other night, didn't I?
I told you. I
said
you can say it, but don't do it on our profile, please. Yeah.
I was like, I really want to comment on this. It was just shitting me. I was like, I was watching a video of this bloke and I thought, this is irritating me so much. Another creator.
Yeah.
And then I said to D, I just filtered it through to him. I said, could I comment something?
And I begged.
You can just say it to my face, mate, if you'd like. I am here.
The only thing, the last probably point for my end on this is it's just the hypocrisy that I see, which is incredible because
I never thought the word hypocrisy would be brought up on our show. Fuck me.
No, but all I'm going to say is it's funny when it's typically comes from the left-leaning people. When they have a go at someone from the right, and the words and the language they're using doesn't align with what they're supposedly. I'm like, this is pretty hardcore stuff. Anyway, that's it.
Nah.
Moving on.
Tennis. Novak.
Yeah.
That night with Novak was pretty cool.
Yeah.
For you as a tennis
mate.
fan, and he's a great example of like, mate, you don't get a bigger tennis name than Novak. He was number one for. Well, he's got the most Grand Slams out of anyone.
By the stats, he's the greatest player to ever play the game.
So you've got someone that you're impersonating. If anyone would be offended, you'd think he'd be the greatest tennis player of all time.
And again, throughout my body of work, in terms of the years I've done, like I've done some pretty, like, hard hitting videos on the man, you know, like it's like, but again, it just goes to show it's a testament to his character and what Novak's like as a person, because, you know, he was the first person when I met him to like be like, I need you to do, can you do me? Can you do it now? I want you go harder. What are you doing? You know, take the piece, you know, really hammer me. You know, come on, tell me, belittle me. You know, like he was just so like humble, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this guy has probably $1 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
You know, he is a god in his home country. He is world-renowned superstar, greatest tennis player to ever play the game by the numbers. It's like, and there he is just talking to me about, you know, can you do your Peter Griffin? The Stewie of the family of the guy, you know, the one, he is a little baby one, you know, I want you to do it. Come on, I want you, when you do the Stewie, you know the one, give him the sucker, you know, the one in the mouth where the binky. You know, like, I'm like, God, it's just, like this, you know, like, mate, I'm sitting there in the tunnels of Rod Laver Arena and I'm just like, wow. And not to mention, like, how it all came about, mate. Like, he DM'd me on Instagram and I just about bloody lost my mind.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. I was in Homebush in Sydney with Thanasi. He was playing a challenger event. And we were rooming together and he was in the other room and I opened up the door and I was in his room. I'm like, Thanasi, guess who just messaged me? Like, Novak messaged me and he was like, oh, that's cool, bro. Nice, bro. Yeah, sick. Oh, cool. Cool, bro.
Thanks, mate.
You know, like obviously, as I've mentioned, for him, it's not a big deal because he plays against these guys. You know, he converses with these superstars on a daily basis. He plays on the circuit. But for me, I was just thinking a 10-year-old Elliot.
Yeah, you're a fan.
Being like, wow, like, I can't believe it. If you told me at 10 that I would be conversing with the greatest player to ever play the game, I would have just been beside myself. So,
Just quickly on Novak, what's your take on all the hate that he cops here in Melbourne?
I'll tell you what I think it is. I reckon, and I'm pretty sure it's been, I think Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer were so beloved and continue to be beloved and forever will be. And I think everyone loved the way that with Rafa, they loved his tenacity, his speed, his never say die attitude, and he was somewhat charismatic as well. Like he just had an endearing quality about him. Federer was just like the Messiah. You can walk on water. His public perception, I think, is like probably one of the best public-facing perceptions in the entire planet. Like if I was in charge of a multi-million-dollar marketing budget and they were like, you've got the choice of anyone in the world to be the face of your brand, I don't know how you could go past Roger Federer if you had the money and the means. He's like probably the most trusted man on the planet. Like if Roger told me to jump off a cliff, I'd do it, 100%. I wouldn't even ask a question. I'd be like, no worries, Rog, sounds good. It's a pretty steep face, but if you say so. Whereas I think what happened with Novak is insanely good, like insane, man. Like it's so hard to put into words how good he is. Anyone who watches tennis on a daily basis like me and is autistic with it, they'll tell you. He is like just by the numbers, his statistics, his records, and what he's been able to achieve in the sport, and the longevity that he's had. It's annoying. It's to the point where he's so good, I think it annoys people. And I think what happened was all of a sudden this kid from Serbia pops up and starts chopping the most beloved athletes in the sport, right? So automatically...
But he wasn't that good early.
He wasn't that great. I mean, he was
you know what I
really
mean.
good.
Yeah,
but
he was.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think what happened was people were just looking at this kid from Serbia going like, oh, fuck, he's beaten Roger again.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck, he's beaten Rafa again. Oh, Federer had 50 match points and then fucking Novak won again. Like I think it's just a shame that he came through in an era with these people who were already so established in terms of their commercial brand. And I think because of that, he was then unfairly labelled as the villain. And unfortunately, I think for a lot of his career, he became the villain. But I think what's really interesting now is because of his sheer will, determination, and tennis acumen, just excellence on the court, he's actually started to win everyone over.
Yeah.
Because the conversations that people were having about Novak 10, 15 years ago as opposed to now, I haven't met anyone in Australia at the moment who doesn't go, wow, Novak's I love him.
That's what it's...
He's won him over.
I love him.
Well, that's for me. It was Federer and Nadal used to shit me as well because they always won. I always liked the ranks sort of 5 to 12.
Yeah.
You had the ones that could never quite.
Well, that's the Australian thing.
Like a Ferrer, a Songer,
Murray.
a Monfils. Yeah,
Well, Murray was
weird, but those ones but like, there's so many of those. Like, you always wanted one of them to break in.
Well,
it was always Federer and Nadal, and then Novak. But once you knew the end was coming, I don't want Novak to stop.
Yeah.
And it was the same with Nadal and same with Federer. So I kind of...
Well, that's exactly... So to answer your question more eloquently, actually, because I went on an absolute tangent. You can see the passion coming through there.
We love it.
But yeah, you're right. I think that also is part of the reason maybe in Australia, historically, the COVID thing was weird.
Yeah.
Because like the whole COVID thing here was fucking whack.
Yeah.
I don't want to open up a can of worms, but like it's
Yeah.
so strange how at the time it was such a huge contemporary thing, and now like everyone looks back at it and goes, "I remember that shit."
Yeah.
Like it's like so strange. But
Yeah, but we treated anyone, if we knew anyone that went outside the radius, you were the devil, mate.
oh, absolutely,
You know?
mate. But the thing is as well, so that thing, but I think also mostly to do with the fact that he's just so good and he's won more Australian Open titles than I think any player ever. It was just kind of like the Australians don't like. They love an underdog, and Novak is a lot of things. He's not an underdog. You could basically put your house on him to win a first round match at any Grand Slam,
Grab that footage up, Jared, of that night with Novak too. Do you remember the the first interaction? I mean, you've gave us a really strong
like
impression of it, but
he sent me the DM on Instagram, and I thought it was like a glitch. I couldn't believe when I clicked on his profile that it was his profile, and I was just, and then I was in touch with both of his managers, and they sort of pushed. The one thing that I'll say is like the amazing thing was, I think TA at the time or at this moment, they were a bit risk averse, I think, in terms of having a comedian involved with a mainstream event like this, because they're very PG, they're very, very PC.
Go from it.
Big shirt. It
Scary
is
face.
Novak Djokovic. No. How trippy. Novak, how do you think you're playing?
Well, I think we are playing unbelievably well, are we not, Novak?
I was shitting myself here.
What do you reckon? Novak, the other one, you reckon this one's any good or? Hang on. I think he's coming. I think he's coming.
Love this. Chest to chest.
A tight shirt.
Very tight. Okay, let's see how he goes. You heard my voice. What about his now? Hey, Novak, you know what? We made it! You
You gotta do it. You try that.
No, what I love about his impersonation of me is what he does before the return. So maybe he can show a couple of things there.
All right. He's good, yeah?
He's the best.
He's the best. Here's Elliot, Loney as Novak Djokovic.
that's
Two
great.
Novaks, how good?
Yeah, so the crazy thing was, like I said, I think they were a bit, the sort of TA and the whole event being so mainstream, they were a bit afraid, I think, of having a comedian attached that I would say the wrong thing. But I was trying to assure them that I'm like, look, I'm going to be PC. I'm not going to say anything crazy. Novak was the one that was really pushing for me to be a part of the event. And obviously it was his night. So then what actually happened was I recall Novak's management going into Craig's office at the time and trying to really like, Elliot must do this. Novak
Really?
yeah. And I just recall like the whole thing had been a bit of like a, what do you call it? Like a strategic nightmare in terms of actually planning for it. I remember they wouldn't,
Was it raising money for the bushfires, something like that?
something like that.
Yeah.
There was definitely sort of like a charitable angle to the whole thing. But I remember about 5 minutes, because I was still unsure as to whether or not I was going to do it like with 5 minutes to go. And I was supposed to do a rehearsal the night before, but because it was so late, it was almost midnight, the guy who was the director of the night was like, go home. So I'm outside Craig's office and all I could see was the glass. And the managers talking, and they were all like talking. And then Novak's manager comes out and he gives me Novak's outfit, which I've still got, by the way. His shoes, his shorts, like his shirt, like his actual stuff. And he's like, I just spoke to Craig, man. Like, we just said, like, Novak wants you to do it. And so, like, you're doing it, man. So, like, here you go. Like, here, you take it and, like, go, man. And so then I'm literally like, it was happened in 5 minutes. I put the clothes on. I walk out to Rod Laver Arena, packed, absolutely packed. And then there's this producer, and this is no word of a lie. She's standing there, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, am I going out soon? And she's like, yeah, you're going to be on soon. Just give us a sec. And like, she's doing this. She's like, okay, just so you know, we're a gender-neutral tournament, so you can't say ladies and gentlemen. You can't say this, you can't do that. You can't say this, you can't do that. And like listed like 5 things rapid fire. And then she's like, off you go. So I'm like on Rod Laver Arena. There's like a spotlight on me, and I'm just like, I am Novak Djokovic. and nobody, like the whole arena is just like, what the fuck is this? There's nothing in the itinerary that's going on.
Novak's there. Why is this guy here?
The Maximus from Gladiator, like turning around.
What did you say then when you shouted something at the end there? It was like,
yeah, I said idemo, which is like let's go or come on in Serbian, which is it's sort of like Novak's coined phrase. And so I remember just thinking in my head going, oh no, like I can't say ladies and gentlemen, so I can't actually address the crowd. I'm not allowed to say this, and this. What do I do? I need Novak. Like Novak has to come here or this is going to tank. So I just kind of gestured to Novak to hope that he would come up. And it was like, that song, like, I Had the time of my life. Like it was just playing in my head because as soon as he like stood up, I was like, yes.
Oh, that would have been.
And then like the crowd, it changed the whole dynamic because then the crowd went from being like, what is this guy doing? To like, oh, Novak's doing something. He likes this guy, so he's cool. And then all of a sudden we just had this moment on the court and the crowd obviously really got involved after that. But he saved me. Like if it wasn't for Novak embracing it, coming over, chest bumping me and giving me that, like it would have
reassurance.
Yeah. But it would have been better had, I had a chance to rehearse, had known that I wasn't allowed to say ladies and gentlemen before I walked onto the court.
Even the MC, it felt like he was a bit.
Yeah, I think everyone was on edge because everyone was so risk averse. Everyone was like, "Oh, we can't say this, we can't say that, we can't do this, we can't do that." But the funniest thing was, like, I remember being in the corridor with Novak afterwards, and I'm like, "Mate, they said I couldn't say ladies and gentlemen," and he was like, "What do you mean? Like, you couldn't say ladies and gentlemen? Well, they want you to say like aliens." So like, it was so funny. Like everyone thought it was ridiculous, but you just can't do anything about it. Like, whatever. Yeah.
One of my favourite ones from you too, and I think it was another one where you did a stand up. I know it was a branded thing, but you did stand up as tennis players. You had Andy Murray crying and Nick Kyrgios getting a bit angry and Jim Courier. Like you get to do through tennis, you get to do all these accents, and I mean the Spanish ones are hilarious, the Italian ones are hilarious. Do you have a favourite in the tennis?
Probably like people always think I'm going to say Rafa, but I think like in recent years it's probably been Novak. And I think part of that is because of how much he embraces it too.
Yeah.
Like I did a video last week or the week before of Novak and he commented on it like straight away. He just commented on it. And then because he commented, it all of a sudden just got like 40,000 likes.
Yep.
And then all of these Serbian fans just jumped on the video and started praising me. And they're like, Novak loves you, so we love you. So it's just like...
Does Jim Courier like your work? Is he a fan?
He does, man. So I actually had a chat to Jim. I did a video with Jim as well, like about 3 or 4 years ago, actually outside of Craig's office, funnily enough. And he was really funny because like he was exactly like how I do him. He's like, I love your impressions right about now. The sport needs you right about now. Keep going right about now.
Right about now.
I'm like, do you ever say anything other than right about now? He's like, not really right about now.
What did you think of his Uber Eats ads? I rated him this year. They were classic.
Yeah. No, he's a really good dude. Pretty much all of the guys that I've met have been really good. It's pretty special.
My final one before we get into the segment and the goodies is for you going into more stand-up. When you kind of look to what you might be doing, do you want it to be based on impressions or do you want to go more into the... Yeah.
I think that's a good question. I think, honestly, it's probably a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to weave in the impressions because obviously that's probably what I'm most known for, but at the same time, stories, one-liners, little quips, anecdotes, anything that I can sort of like draw from my life experiences and put into a show. But, I think a myriad of all the stuff would be good. Yeah.
The 9As, just quickly. Did they get turned into a cartoon?
I tried.
I loved that.
I tried, mate.
Yeah.
Look, again...
The prestigious 9As.
Again, I think, I've said this so many times, but I'm a huge advocate for equality of opportunity for everyone. Everyone deserves equal opportunity in every facet of life, but equality of outcome is one of the worst, most cancerous things, I think, on the planet. And I remember trying to get funding for that animation, and my biggest regret is not trying to go the crowdfund route because I would have actually had it made. I put my faith in the governing bodies, and the amount of red tape and hoops that I had to run through to try and get that show made was insane. Like just, we need 50-50 gender equity. We need, you can't do this because it's racist. You've got to change this. You've got to do that. You've got to do this. And I found that just, so unnecessary, I was applying for development funding for one. So, I was actually trying to get funding to help develop the concepts and the actual overall arching story world or whatever. But the amount of red tape was insane. So again, like that political correctness stuff, in some ways, I think a lot of progressiveness is very, very good and advantageous for society. But in a lot of ways, I think that it's incredibly, incredibly cancerous.
Well, how is Novak and Rafa, like that that could be considered just as equally racist. Like, like if you really wanted to, like, anyway.
I mean, look, again, another thing I'll just share really quickly, because I know we've probably got to wrap it up, but I was in a TV show. I'm not going to extrapolate and tell exactly what, but essentially, how's this for a strange set of circumstances? I was doing an impersonation of Nick Kyrgios on the show. Obviously, I'm good friends with Nick, so I called him up and I said, hey, mate, I'm going to be doing you on this TV show. I just wanted to get consent from you because I'm going to be doing a few skits. I hope you're fine with that. Just wanted to get clearance. He's like, yeah, bro, absolutely. Like, do whatever fuck you want, bro. Like, I couldn't care less, bro. Like, honestly, bro, like, fucking do whatever you want. So, have this conversation with Nick. I go up to Sydney. I film all these videos, all these pieces of content for the show. And then I get a phone call from an executive producer on the program who calls me up and says, there's a cast member who has taken umbrage to you doing impersonations of Nick Kyrgios because they've said that that's racist and they will threaten to leave the show unless we pull the skits. And I had to scratch my head and say, hang on a second, I just want to get this straight. So this person who does not represent the minority group that Nick represents because he's Malaysian Greek, this person who's presumably Caucasian, correct? Yes, correct. I'm like, okay. So this Caucasian individual has said that she has taken umbrage on me doing a perceived racist take on somebody who I've already got consent from. I don't understand.
God. And who you're close friends with.
Who I'm very good friends with as well. I said, he's even actually expressed interest in coming on the program and doing a skit with us. And you're saying I can't do it now. She's like, yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way the cards have fallen or something. And I said, okay, that's fair enough. I can understand the cards have fallen that way, but can you not see how fucking weird that is?
Yeah.
I mean, I can just,
boils my blood.
So yeah, there's stuff like that goes on in the industry, but you just got to roll with the punches.
But it's,
I thought it was getting better. I really did.
Yeah, it's sad because everyone else is missing out because of that.
So.
And that's the unfortunate thing.
I think so. Look, I think, obviously...
what do these people laugh at, genuinely? What do they find genuinely hilarious?
I understand that. And
like 90% of us have to miss out on that because of the 10%, which I think is very unfair.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, everyone's got boundaries and stuff like that. Like there's certain things that I certainly would not joke about. And, I think that everyone has a boundary and stuff like that. But within reason, I think that's unreasonable, like especially if you've got consent from the person that you're portraying and they're on board with it and they want to be a part of it. I don't see the harm in it,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Just quickly on Kyrgios, the night they won the doubles, where does that rank in your favourite nights of your life?
That was one of the best nights of my life. Strangely, at the time though, Nick was he was not really going out at all. So I remember being in the locker room with Thanasi and we were sort of turning to Nick being like, let's go celebrate. And he was like, nah, bro, like I'm just going to chill with my missus, bro. Just like have an early one. Like he was just...
Did he actually?
Yeah, he didn't go out.
Wow.
He didn't go out?
Yeah, he had a partner at the time and I remember they just went back to his hotel and just chilled out, which... Thanasi and I were scratching our heads a little bit, thinking, you just won a Grand Slam.
That does sound a bit.
And also Nick too, like you're famous and infamous for your partying antics. Like this is very strange. If ever there was an opportunity for you to celebrate, now's it. Like this is a guy who wants to celebrate on an idle Wednesday, just after sitting on his couch, inspiration strikes. Be trying to twist my arm during a weekday to go out and send it, but
now he's watching Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that was an incredible night. Had a great evening. Like that was just insane. Like I remember running down like the street with Thanasi and he was so excited and I'm like, bro, you just won a Grand Slam, and he's like, oh no. And it was literally like a movie, mate. Like I remember getting to the club and obviously all the bouncers know Thanasi like by first name, of course.
Which club was Chapel it? Street or?
Yeah, Chapel Street. It was Electric.
I've seen Thanasi there a couple times along there. Yeah.
It was at Electric, of course. Where else at the time? And I remember they were like, oh, Mr. Kokkinakis or whatever, bro, come in, mate. Oh, is this your mate? Yeah, bring him in. So then we're just up there, just sending it, mate. It was an amazing evening.
We're going to jump into Coin Spot, Dos.
The Coin Spot hot seat, we like to call it, Elliot. So
love a bit of Coin Spot.
Our good mates at Coin Spot, the best and easiest place to buy and sell all your cryptocurrencies.
Yes, all of them. You can buy your Bitcoin for as little as $1. So it's easy to get involved. Easy platform. We use it, so you should too. CoinSpot is the place to go.
We've got a multiple choice.
This is different for the ones that listen each week. Normally
That's
maybe
true.
you can explain.
Well, you explain it. You wrote it, so.
Okay, well, it's all going to be on me if this falls flat. Normally, you answer a hot seat question, $1 million question that we typically know the answer that's going to come.
Yeah.
But we thought with you, Elliot, we might try this a little bit different.
Okay.
So normally you go A, B, C, D. We've got 4 names of some of your best impersonations. And we'd love you to try and convince Dos and I why your dinner party is the best one to go to as these 4 characters. So I'll give you the 4 names. Donald Trump, Hughesy, Nick Kyrgios and Morgan Freeman. There's only 2 seats left at the table. It's all on the same night. Why should we go to their dinner party?
All right. Is this a time limit thing? Or
About 20 seconds. Or you can go. Go.
Okay. So did you want to pose the question to the character and then the character will answer?
Yeah, let's do that. Well, how about you ask the
I should have
president?
brought my wigs.
Yeah. Why don't you ask the president of the United States?
Mr. Trump, there's 2 seats spare. I can see. I'd love to. We'd love to join you for dinner.
So you want to come over to the White House for dinner? That's great. It's really great. You know, I love your names. I want to talk about your names, guys. Dos and D. You know, who came up with that? You know, was your father dyslexic? Because you gotta speak the American language. You know, I don't like people who can't speak American. So make sure you come over to my house and have a great big chicken parmesan.
That sounds very intriguing.
That'll has the greatest parmesan. It's Parma too, not Parma. I guarantee you that.
Well, next to you, Mr. President, we've got Hughesy's walked in, who's a former guest of this show. Hughesy, why should we come to your dinner party?
Well, yeah, it's bloody outrageous. Tell you why you need to come to our dinner party, because Albo's not there, yeah? So come down there, right? I've got unbelievable stuff. I'm cooking common sense, yeah? So you come down here with a nice fucking dose of common sense, yeah? Outrageous.
Well, Hughesy, I know you like watching a bit of tennis, but we've got Nick Kyrgios there sitting next to Hughesy as well. Nick, we're looking forward to dinner if we're welcome.
Honestly, bro, I don't like either of you, bro. Honestly, bro, if you guys came into my house, I would call the cops, bro. I don't know, Dos and D, bro. These guys, bro. It's an absolute snooze fest, bro. Honestly, bro. Bro. You'd be lucky to get nothing, bro. Nothing. Bro. Why would I give you anything, bro?
Who's last?
Give you a fucking slap on the mouth, bro.
Well, you're sitting next to some royalty in the film industry, Mr. Morgan Freeman. We'd love to come to dinner if you'd have us.
Well, shit. Morgan Freeman would be absolutely delighted to have dos&d on his magnanimous Shawshank prison mealtime.
Shawshank.
We can all take turns dining on my magnanimous friend, Elliot Freeman. You can start with his ankle, Dos. And Dos, you can nibble on his ear.
Who are you picking? Which one do you want to get?
I'm going to go national bias. Either Kyrgios or Hughesy. I'm going to go Hughesy.
Yeah, well, we weren't welcoming Kyrgios, so maybe we'll go.
True, actually, that's a good call.
Elliot, mate, thank you so much for that. It was so much fun. We've now got some gifts. Now it's party time.
This is
We're going to start with Milkman, Dossy boy.
Now, Elliot looks like a man who looks after his hair. He likes to smell nice.
Thanks, mate.
I don't know if you can grow much of a beard
He's
as well,
about to
Elliot.
travel to the United
I
States.
can't grow a
Perfect
beard.
little travel bag. But Milkman Australia, think male grooming, think Milkman. No nasties. If you can unzip that bad boy, they're giving you some natural deodorant, bit of muck.
Dream
for
cream,
the hair.
styling cream. What's a bit of styling?
I
cream?
use that. Nice little bit of styling cream. The natural deodorant, which no nasties, like I mentioned earlier. And then I think he's got the 3-in-1 body wash too.
Yeah, there you go.
The Is it what is it? Espresso?
That's the espresso.
Boozy body wash.
Boozy body
boozy
wash.
I'm assuming you can drink it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't drink it, but it does smell delightful.
I've got to be honest here. I mean, have you used this?
Yeah,
Yes.
mate, I used
No, this particular bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a bit of...
Hey,
We'll
we just
sort
had a
you
couple
out.
of squirts in
We'll,
the mouth
we'll
earlier.
sort you out with
We'll
a
get you a
fresh one.
fresh-
mate.
It smells bloody good. It smells
smells
like
boozy.
espresso martini. I was going to say it smells like caramel.
You didn't have a couple of squirts.
I
last night,
did.
you?
I did. I do use that one, but not that particular.
But
one.
if anyone else wants some Milkman, head to milkmanaustralia.com. Use the code dos&d.
How much can I get off?
20% off. And mind you, they come unopened from Milkman. You'll get a nice unopened.
Next
Milkman Australia / dos&d. The finest milkman in Australia.
Don't get any better than the Milkman.
No. Well, the next one is Mitch Dowd. Bring in Mitch Dowd.
Oh,
so
what's
this is the comfiest
Oh,
underwear
thanks,
and
mate.
sleepwear
Jeez,
on the
mate.
market.
It's
Don't
unbelievable.
forget socks as well.
Socks as
Gosh.
well. So in time for Father's Day, if you guys are looking for Father's Day gifts,
Wow.
look no further than Mitch Dowd, where you can get 30% off using the code dos&d.
What do you
Seriously
got in there? Some
comfortable.
PJs?
Well, this is great.
This-
the
that just
decoration.
dresses up. Oh,
Is
there's
this
some-
part of the?
Yeah,
Ah,
chuck-
well,
give it a
yeah,
throw.
just to
Yeah.
add to
Well,
it. Well, you got some
look at this.
PJs
Got
in
some
there,
socks
some
here.
socks, beautiful.
I got. Oh, mate, look at this. This is what is
Is that
this?
a dressing gown?
Is this a robe?
That looks like it could be a
I think
robe.
that's a dressing gown.
There you
Triple
go.
XL, is it? It's like they've got my sizing wrong. That's fine.
Well, if you want to do, a Hugh Hefner
Yeah, I was just going to
impersonation,
say,
then we've got-
Playboy Mansion impression.
Oh, there's some jocks in there for you
yeah,
too,
perfect,
mate.
mate. Look at these. These are great.
Well,
Look
they're
at that.
known for their bold prints, aren't they, Dos?
Exactly.
I love
Nothing
this.
plain when it comes to Mitch Dowd. He's got some dogs
This is
on there.
fantastic,
There you
boys.
go.
Thank
Well,
you so
we do
much.
say big thank you to our friends at Mitch Dowd. Of course, like we said, you can get yours for 30% off using the code dos&d at checkout.
How good is that?
Now, into Tommy's.
Tommy's is...
Now, we mentioned
Elliot,
Chapel Street before.
Elliot spotted
Wow.
the Tommies.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
one of the
Shit.
first things Elliot spotted. He pointed at me and
Tommy.
goes, is that a nice cold little beverage? We said, yeah, wait till the end. Now, Tommy's a nice little spritz, a limoncello spritz. So I think he's got the mandarin flavour.
This is bloody good, I reckon.
I
It
reckon
comes from your favourite part of the world, Chapel Street.
Really?
Yeah, the boys based there with their pizzeria
our
Freddy's.
Italian brothers
Yes.
over at Tommy's. So you can find them in your local BWS or Dan Murphy's. And you can buy them online as well with a discount code.
15% off. Mind you, we'll put that up on the screen in the show notes for you, so you make the most of that. But you can also get one at Freddy's Pizzeria too, which we will send you a voucher to go there too. But and an off-air too, we've got some golf accessories for you as well, so we'll give that to you.
Oh,
off
thanks,
air.
mate.
Well, thank you,
Hopefully
Elliot.
a few
We've
balls.
loved it. My cheeks hurt.
Mine too.
I've had the bloody best time. And congratulations on everything you've achieved, mate. And we're looking forward to actually seeing the next lot of stand-up.
Nah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on Dos&D.
I will never call myself D again.
Good luck finding the rest of the syllables. You know, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.